Welcome to the channel. My name is Eric, and I thought today we would talk about the way a lot of people are and how they're doing these days, because there are a lot of people that are going through some rough times. And there's certain days when it comes to learning lessons, I call them, that people will just gravitate towards you and then just pour out their heart and soul. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. Today I thought we'd talk about chainsaw Alright, so what am I talking about, right? I'm talking the state of the economy. I'm talking the state of a lot of folks. And sometimes we have to be taught to be grateful is a good word for what we have and where we're at. I get all walks of life that come through into my shop. And if you watch very many of my videos, you'll know that I try to take my customers and turn them into friends. And if that means stopping things and lending an ear, I will do it in a heartbeat. Case in point. How did today start off? Today's Saturday. It started off with kind of the mundane stuff, getting eBay shipping and this and that. And trying to figure out how I'm going to get a lot of stuff done. But I was kind of pissing and moaning to myself. And that doesn't happen often. But we all had those days where you just, no matter what you do, you're not happy about it, right? And then out of the blue, I had a customer show up this morning at 7:30. And I hadn't seen this customer in a long time. And he said he had to be going by, so he just wanted to stop and say hi. So I said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I haven't seen you in such a long time. How's things going with you and the wife and the kids?" And then it was like a floodgate opened. And he talked about how his marriage of almost 40 years had fallen to pieces. And he didn't know how to get it back. So as I listened, I said, "What is your normal day or week like? How often do you get to spend time with your wife?" He said, "Maybe 1-2 hours max a day." He said, "I've been putting in 16-hour, 18-hour days. A lot of times not getting home till 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week." He's self-employed. He runs a AI artificial breeding. And he thought by doing that he was showing how much he loved her by his being a provider. And I explained to him, I said, "Look, sometimes we have to be told that we are loved. She needs to hear it. And she needs to see you more than an hour or two per day. And you need to slow down. You're in your mid-50s now. And 16-hour days, 7 days a week, you have to come to what I call the coming to Jesus moment. And that is, You really need to take a look at your life and find out what's the most important thing that you value. If you're working all these hours, is it money? And he said, no, no, nope. Said it was to help put his kids through college and to provide a good, comfortable living for him and his wife. And he said that she's always worked. So I did more listening than I did talking. He need to get it out. He had told about how he sat in his car for 1 or 2 weeks, just sobbing, trying to figure out how it went wrong and what to do about it, because he still loved her very much. I said, are you looking for advice, or you just need to get it off your chest? Both. So, well, for number one, you and your wife need to figure out what it felt like when you first got married. And I mean, really go back to that point in time. What was it about you that she fell in love with? And what was it about her that you fell in love with? So he was telling me about all the positive things of his wife. And he still felt that way to this day. He's never said a harsh word, about his wife, to his wife or to the kids. I said, well, she needs to be told that she's loved. And he's staying with his daughter right now. He's giving his wife some space. I said, you need to stop giving your wife some space. And you need to go there today and tell her everything you've told me. Everything. And I said, you don't want it to what it used to be. You want a new, improved relationship with your wife. And she needs to see how important it is to you to have that. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out your work schedule. You're self-employed. Do you need to be going 7 days a week? Or can you cut it back to just certain farms? He said, I can cut it back. I said, then you got to cut it back. If you want your wife back in your life, you need to make time for her. And you need to work around her schedule and her needs. She's been basically, the parent in the family because you're too busy working. And off he went. And then I hopped into my vehicle and I was going to head to the grocery store. And I went by a neighbor's house up here. And I see he was parked in the driveway. So I swung in just for a little chit chat. And he was telling me about all these medical conditions that he's got going on. He's younger than I am. He's getting shots in his neck. He's getting, he's been through a lot. And he's got carpal tunnel so that one hand is done, the next one he's trying to get done. And that he's failed more at life than he's done positive things. And I said, sometimes we have to look at those positive things instead of the things that we didn't do so well, unless we want to improve. those things. Now, I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but my complaints about life became very minuscule today. And if you take anything away from today's video, is to let people know around you that you love them. And if they're worth anything to you, then you need to make time for them. And it's odd because both said to me part way through, I hate to take up your time. And I said, I've got all the time in the world.